Hi, I'm Rick with PLP Battery Supply, and today we're going to talk about how to determine if a charger is negative output or positive output. This makes a difference when it comes time for you if you have to replace a rectifier in one of these things, or if you have to replace the diodes in them, whether you need positive output or negative output. So we're going to look on a wheel charger, what it looks like on the inside, and we're going to trace that circuit, and we're going to also look at a small one and take a look at that. Because basically what this boils down to is just looking at the output circuit out to the DC clamp and determining which one is hooked up to the rectifier output. So I've taken liberty of popping most of the screws off of this thing, so we'll take a look at the inside of it real quickly. And we'll just turn it around so you can get a little better look at the inside of it. And what we're looking for, what we're trying to determine is from the rectifier, which is down here, which one of the cables is hooked up to the rectifier output. So we'll look at the rectifier output in here. It's hooked up to a large cable. We're going to follow that out and see if it's hooked up to the negative or the positive cable. And we're going to do the same thing on the small charger, and we'll talk about what some of the things are you need to look for, because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky if they're hooked up to an SCR rather than directly to the rectifier plate. So we've got this charger opened up, and this is a Schumacher, I'm sure the model number, SE8050. This one is a little more complex than some of the chargers that you'll see. It's got a battery tester inside, actually has a load testing element over here. But fundamentally, all these things are the same in terms of what we're looking for today, which is what kind of output this charger has. So what you need to do is you need to find the rectifier. In our case, it is down here. It's actually attached to the top of the transformer. It's this aluminum heatsink plate here with its diodes, and this is the output. So in this case, we're going to go from where this cable is bolted to the heatsink here, and we're going to follow it right up here, and it goes out of the cabinet through the back here. And then if we just go ahead and turn this here just a bit, so this is the cable that we're following, and if we follow it down, then what we see is it's connected to the positive clamp. That makes this a positive output charger. I don't know of any Schumacher chargers that are not positive output chargers. If you don't know, that's what you need to do though, is just follow that clamp out, and or follow that circuit out to the clamp, and that clamp's going to tell you whether it's positive or negative. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at how to determine positive and negative output on a small charger. We've got a little Schumacher 10 amp here. These things are very common. And what we're going to do is we're going to again trace the output circuit from the rectifier out to see which clamp it's attached to, the positive or the negative. And on this charger, the circuit that we're going to be looking at is this one right here. This is the output, and where it's attached right now, you can't see it very well because it's on the bottom of this circuit board. So we're going to rotate this thing around so that you can see where that's attached, and then we'll also have another shot of it that we can show you that makes it even more clear perhaps. But we'll take this thing and we'll tip it up and turn it around, and you can see how it's attached underneath the bottom of this circuit board. And then we'll talk about why it's attached to the circuit board instead of just to the heatsink. So right here is the attachment point we're talking about. It's a little 1/4 inch push-on connector. Let me tip it just a little bit more, so you can see where that thing is attached. And then if we could follow that wire, you'd see that it goes all the way down to here, and that's the circuit that we're going to follow out. So this is a rectifier like the one that was in that charger we were just looking at. And if we turn this thing over so you can have a better view of it, now we can see that tab right there. That's the output off of this rectifier. And the reason that it's not attached directly to the plate, which is typical, is that this is a charger that has automatic voltage regulation. So it has this circuit board that performs that function, and then this is what we call a TechArt SCR that the current actually flows through. So that's sort of the switching gateway, if you will, from the rectifier's current to the output. So in this case, again, we're going to look for the output coming off that tab, and then we're going to follow that cable out of the charger. Another thing to look at on this one, because we have a nice view of it, this is actually where the diodes sit in here, and that's the part that typically fails on one of these rectifiers, and that's the part that will need to be replaced. And another video will show you how to do that. Okay, so to follow this circuit out of the charger, we're going to again follow this wire right here, and right here is where it goes through the back of the cabinet, through the strain relief, and we can see that the output here is the side of the wire. Since this is a duplex wire, this is the side of the wire that has the printing on it. If you follow the cable and follow the side that has the printing on it, all the way back around through the whole thing, when you get over to here, you can see this side's got printing on it right here, and that is the side of the wire that goes to the positive clamp, so this is a positive output charger. It's important to know this when you're working on the charger, because that's going to tell you whether, if you have to order diodes for it for the rectifier, it's going to tell you whether you need cathode to base or anode to base. Cathode to base is going to be for positive output, anode is going to be for negative output. It's also just good to know. Anyway, you know what you're dealing with. If you have any questions about any of this, you can always call us at PLP Battery Supply, 800-642-3451. Thanks.